The stars, we're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. And you know why we're lucky? Because we've got the best goalkeeper in the world. And that's not an exaggeration, that's a reality check. AS Roma have got the best goalkeeper in the world, and his name is SVILAR. He's something indescribable. He's something like he's so precious that I can't even describe him. He's something else. He's literally another level when it comes to the goalkeepers. And like it or not, dear Serie A or football fans, we've got the best goalkeeper in the world, and you can't say nothing about that because that guy's unbelievable. That guy is. I can't find the. You know what? You know, when it comes to goalkeepers, you only focus on the saves. You know, I remember there were so many goalkeepers around which produce cinematic saves, which end up on front lines of journals and newspapers. You know, those incredible saves that end up in top best saves compilation on YouTube. SVILAR does that, but that's just the cherry on the cake. It's the positioning. It's the time of reaction. Like the shot is when SVILAR came out to save Gift Orban's shot, not the one that he saved with his face, but the one in the second half. Like, we don't realize how hard it is to find the exact time of reaction to come out from the goal and directly slam the ball and not get his legs. It's so complicated to do. And we're not even goalkeepers. He is something incredible. And you know what it is with SVILAR? That he is, when it comes to production and what the amount of points that he gives us, it's like having an Erling Haaland up front. It really is. It really is. It's like having our own Lamine Yamal or our own Erling Haaland is SVILAR. Because Lamine Yamal by himself gives Barcelona like 15, 20 points each season. Erling Haaland gives Man City around 15 to 20 points each season. SVILAR does that for us. We don't understand the amount of points. We're not conceptualizing the amount of points that SVILAR single-handedly gifts us. It's equivalent. It's like having our own Erling Haaland, which is why I say he's the best goalkeeper in the world. And the fact that he's still not considered by the big team and by the big media propaganda is so special for us. Because the second this man starts exploding, he'll be out of here in a matter of a blink. And that's where, unfortunately, we will have no say in this. But he's something incredible. Make Mile saint now. Make Mile saint now. Choose a day in the calendar and just name it Saint Mile, and we just celebrate it every year because he is something incredible. Back to the game. Guys, 3 points or 3 points. It was ugly today. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't massively rate our performance. That second half, we got outplayed, as Jack says in the live chat. We have to be honest, we got outplayed by Verona in pretty much 70% of the game. But our defense is too strong, our goalkeeper is too strong, and we managed to take our chances, score 2 goals, and bring the game back home, gifts us the points, and for at least another hour, we can enjoy being top of the league with Napoli before the big game tonight at San Siro between Milan and Napoli. So, again, you know me, I think when you win games, you don't look at the negative sides. I think only a delusional would be mad about this win. Because yes, I understand the frustration. It wasn't a great performance, but we won. We got 3 points. And it's another win. And these are all heavy wins that we're adding to the pile. And if it wasn't for that Torino slip-up, we would have won all games. So Roma's a strong team, and we can't hide that. Roma is a strong team that I think this process of growth started with Ranieri. Gasperini has so much credits. Gasperini is a great manager. But this process of growth, this process of maturing, this process of defensively maturing, this process of being confident about your tools and wanting to believe in what you do comes from Ranieri. It really does. It's Ranieri who started this. Gasperini's adding of course, and the players of course are giving their part. It's a mechanism which is working, and I'm very happy about this because you know me, I think it's the first time in a long while that we can say that the mechanism is flowing. The pieces of this mechanism are working together. But who created this mechanism is Claudio Ranieri, which we will, trust me, in like 30 years' time, we will not be tired to thank that man. Because if it wasn't for Claudio, not only would we have not been in this situation, but we wouldn't have had Gasperini, we wouldn't have had the revitalization of so many players. I look at Chilik. You know, the reason Chilik is the player he is today is only and utterly only because of Claudio Ranieri and the way he decided to put him in a back three last season, believe in him, give him chances. Chilik is a different player, completely different player. So, yeah, I think that the way I see this is a Gasperinian Roma with a hand of Claudio Ranieri. It's a Gasperinian Roma with Claudio's hand. You know, you can tell that the base of this comes from Claudio. You can see it, you can visually see it. Because Gasperini never had this defensive solidity anywhere he went. Gasperini is not about defending well. Gasperini is about keeping a high line, scoring goals, pressing high, fast football. So the fact that we're managing to adoperate some concepts and elements of what Gasperini wants, the pressing, the intensity shifts, and all that, and it can be better, the defensive solidity is not Gasperini's, it's Ranieri's 100%. Yeah, and this confidence that the defenders have is something that really Ranieri has worked on so much last season, and we're seeing the fruits flourishing right now. Even Ziolkowski, who comes in and has that character. You know, it's not easy. He's 20 years old, debut with Roma at the Stadio Olimpico in front of 70,000 fans. To get something like that with balls, it's not something that you take for granted. So I'm loving life when it comes to Roma right now because everything is working, and we don't want to jinx it, of course, but it's a mechanism which, as I said, is working well. So yeah, of course, what we need to improve in is scoring goals. We scored 2 today, 2 from open play. The second one wasn't an amazing goal. It was more their error, which gifted us. But the first goal was a good goal. The first and then I'm going to speak about Dovbyk because you know me. I've not been a fan of Dovbyk lately, but today he played great. And I'm going to put my face and admit that today he played a great game. But we're going to get into players in a second. I want to give a little respect button to Verona because I was not aware of to be honest with you, I'll say it, their quality up front. I really wasn't. I actually think we didn't. I actually think not only they deserved the goal, but had this game ended 1-0, I would have said we didn't deserve to win. I don't want to say this because we scored 2 goals, but Verona could have easily scored 3 today. Like, I respect these teams that know that they are weaker than our opponent, than us, come at the Olimpico and don't park the bus. I honestly respect. I don't like Verona. I've never liked Verona. I really never have liked Verona. But this spirit of a relegation team going into the Olimpico and not parking the bus is something that doesn't deserve relegation. Because there are teams which, of course, again, you can't blame them because that's what they, of course, have to do. But there are teams which come at the Allianz Stadium, at San Siro, at the Olimpico, which play with literally like 72 defenders in the box. That can be effective, that can grind them points. But it's not something that they deserved. These teams like Verona, who come at the Olimpico today, play with their heart and don't play with 33 defenders in the box. Fair play. Again, much of their performance was probably also influenced by the fact that we scored a goal after 5 minutes. I would be very surprised if Verona came to Rome to play like this. I think they adapted to how the result went after 5 minutes and then changed a bit because they needed goals. Had Dovbyk not scored in the first 10 minutes, I do think we would have seen a more defensive performance. But look, I think, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for SVILAR today, we would have definitely conceded. When it comes to that save on Gift Orban, the one with his face, SVILAR is illegal. Like, he is illegally good. But yeah, look, little respect button to Verona because they deserved it today. Yeah, okay, individual performances. Defense is solid. I don't want to focus on the defense because I don't think the defense today. One thing that we have to be careful on defensively, and it's I'm like juxtaposing this because you're like, how can you improve if we're not conceding? You're right. There really isn't much that we can improve on because we're keeping so many clean sheets. The one thing that we have to be careful on, which is something that Gasperini has done, is that sometimes our defense line is too high. And sometimes it can cause problems, especially if you play with pacey players against. You know, for example, not that it's going to be a problem now, but I'll give you the example of Erling Haaland, which isn't a good example. But a striker with his pace. A striker with his pace, when our defense line is so high, would score easily 3 goals. And that's something that we move very well. Our defense is not just solid because we don't concede, but because they communicate well. Because Mancini and Indica communicate well. Because Ziolkowski comes in and communicates well. Having a good defense is all about moving well together. But sometimes I do notice that our defense line is too high, which again, it's what Gasperini wants. He wants men pushing forward, as many as possible. But then one long ball, one fast striker, and you're kind of cooked. Kone played great. Who else? Yeah, Çelik played great today. One of my man of the match has to be SVILAR. But Çelik played a really good game. A really, really good game. He's way more confident in himself, which is good. Because 2 years ago, the problem with Çelik is that he's not a massively technically gifted player. And the fact that if you don't believe in yourself and you're technically weak, you're gonna bottle games. So the biggest thing that comes from Çelik's massive improvement and overall improvement, one is what Claudio did, bring him in a defense line, because I think in a back three he plays way better. And the second thing is this concept of believing in yourself, which is what Claudio worked on so much with players like Çelik, and you're seeing the fruits now because Çelik knows what to do. Knows what to do. Years ago, even a year ago when Juric came in, Juric did not know what to do. Not Juric, Çelik. He was placed there. Do I go forward? Do I pass it back? He knows what to do. And it's that directness, which I think is what is making him improve a lot. On the other side, I have to agree with Zong Kli, who says, Angelino sta in calo assoluto. Angelino is living a drop. Again, it's normal. He played a great season last season, full of highs. Right now, if we're kind of drawing a graph to describe Angelino's performances, we would definitely see a drop. He's dropping down. He's less productive up front and he's less productive at the back in defense, which is why I think as of today, 28th of September, of course the two will rotate a lot, but I think Tsimikas needs to start. It's not that he played a terrible game. It's the fact that he's less productive than what he was last season, which of course, it's this comparison that makes us say that he's in a drop. Because last season, Angelino pulled crosses, goals, a lot of goals he scored last season. The one against Napoli, the one against Eintracht, the one against Bilbao. He was more present in the box. Maybe it's how Gasperini wants to play. He wants him less present up front. Fine, of course. But I also feel like performance-wise, he's living a bit of a drop, which is normal. But I think we have to back this up by as of now starting Tsimikas. Pellegrini played a great game. I think Pellegrini played great today. Good game again. When it comes to Pellegrini, you're always in search for that goal or that assist. But he was great today. Played a great game. Sule scored a goal. Other than the goal, he needed this goal at home so much, because I've been saying this for the past months. Sule performs way better away from home, and this is something that some people will treat it as a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's scientifically proven and footbally proven that Sule performs way better away. It's not a coincidence. It's the fact that at home, in front of so many fans, he feels the urgency to produce that winning moment that makes all of the fans flabbergasted. Like, oh, wow, Sule. So he's always in search for that last dribble to kind of surprise everyone, when he could easily like avoid that and cross the ball, or avoid that and shoot. So the fact that he scored his first goal at the Olimpico at home, because I know he scored at the Olimpico in the derby last season, but that was technically an away game. The fact that he scored his first goal at home, it's kind of, he said it himself, it kind of unlocked him. He needed this goal. Because apart from the goal today, I always feel like Sule tries something special that we could also do without. At home, away it's different. Away he plays better. And then Dovbyk. I want to focus on Dovbyk because I think Dovbyk deserves it today. Played a great game. Probably the first time in a while that Dovbyk's presence was well attributed by the entire squad. They used him as a point of reference. They used him as a pivot. They relied on him, and Dovbyk correctly gave the ball back to them. Scored a goal, which is not an easy goal. Great cross from Celik. Great movement going away from the defender and then head-butting it in. Dovbyk played good, and just like Sule needed that goal, Dovbyk needed this performance. And Dovbyk needed this performance more than anything to say to Gasperini that he's present, that he's there, that he will try and challenge Ferguson, and that as of now, he's got more goals than Ferguson. So Dovbyk and Ferguson are in a battle to who's the starting striker as of now. Will this goal change the hierarchy as of today? Maybe. Maybe after this goal, Dovbyk is in pole position to start and Ferguson is behind. When Ferguson scores the next goal, it might switch again. But what I think is important is that our strikers need to score as many goals as possible. And I know that's like 1 + 1 = 2. I know it's a very easy statement to make, but we need to pump confidence in both our strikers. And if there's one way that we can do that is letting them score. The only way a striker starts a momentum streak is if he scores goals. And Ferguson played 20 minutes today, so I actually think if Ferguson had started, we would have seen a Ferguson goal. But the decision of starting Dovbyk was praised today and was rewarded with a goal. So, look, I'm happy. I'm happy that we won. It's the most important thing. And yeah, guys, the performance wasn't... Today we were efficient. You know, sometimes in life, it's not about being perfect. It's not about being aesthetically amazing. It's about being efficient. And this is what we did today. We got in, we suffered because we did suffer, but we managed to use the moments in the game in our favor and score 2 goals and it killed the game. So yeah, bring the next one on. We've got Lille on Thursday in the Europa League. If we can go 2 for 2 in the Europa League, it would be great. And then next weekend, we've got a very, very, very tricky game against Fiorentina. Fiorentina are playing terribly, but that's exactly why next weekend's game is a very tricky game. We all needed the Fiorentina win today because now Fiorentina are playing the game of their lives against us next weekend. Because if Fiorentina lose next weekend as well, I reckon Pioli goes off. I mean, I reckon Pioli gets sacked because Fiorentina started terribly. So yeah, it won't be an easy game. We needed a Fiorentina win today just to saturate that aggressiveness that they will now have next weekend because they need points. Fiorentina have lost every game basically. But yeah, we've got Lille first. We have to focus on the Europa League, guys. Very important. At home, against another French side. We'll speak about it this week. Guys, let me read a few comments and then I'm going to end it. In the meantime, the vlog of today's game is now officially out. If you can go and hit the like on that one, enjoy it. Leave a comment, leave some hype points, subscribe. Literally every movement that you guys do pushes these videos to even a greater audience. And there are so many of you guys who watches these videos and aren't yet subscribed. You know, if it's a comment down below in this one or in the vlog or a thumbs up or give some hype points to the videos, everything you do, which is free of cost, pushes these videos out. That's how it works. So the more things you do, the better. And share, of course, the channel to your friends and families. I'll take these wins, but being outplayed by Verona at home is embarrassing, says Jack. Roma were pressured a lot, but they were able to hold their defense. But did they take a lot of unnecessary risks, says Cesare. Mr. Cesare. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that this is the best defense we've had in over 20 years. I'm 20 years old, so maybe there were a few things that I don't remember. It's definitely a very solid defense. The only thing that still worries me about this defense is the fact that it's still very dependent on moments. Like, we could go on and go 3 games in a row with a clean sheet, and then the 4th game we're like so unconcentrated and we concede 3 goals. It's a very solid defense, but I still am not 100% that mentally this defense is always there and concentrated. So if that makes sense. And I think I want to also see it with better opponents because, I mean, yes, Lazio's a derby, but Lazio, I said it, are technically terrible this season. Nice, we conceded a goal. It was a penalty, but Nice were not amazing. Verona played a good game today, but they're not an amazing side. You know, Lille on Thursday, Fiorentina next weekend with Ken up front, Inter after the break. Those are the games that makes me kind of accept that statement. If we keep clean sheets against these teams as well, then yes. But you see, our fullbacks don't look confident and they don't try anything, says Messi. Simo, greetings from Serbia and Forza Roma. Hello, Lazar. Today was clear on the pitch. We still need that left winger player that makes different. Oh, absolutely. Bailey can change our season. Bailey really can. What did the Pellegrini banner say? No, Pellegrini banner was a mockery to Lazio. It basically said to even the little ones, newborns, Lazio fans, the curse of Pellegrini scoring in front of the Curva Nord will continue. And then there was the picture of Pellegrini with to be continued. It was a fun one. Angelino is missing Paredes. That's a good point. Samikas, I agree, must start. I mean, he played a great game against Nice. I guess one of your parents is English, native speaker. Where is Shirhi from? My parents are Italian. I speak English just because I went to an English school since I was like 6 years old. But my parents are all Italian, my family is all Italian, and I'm 100% Italian. So that's the truth. Guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. Hit the like, subscribe, and if we can get 150 likes on this match reaction, it would be great. Leo next. Speak to you then. Simo, out.